Clean underside of end cap. Peel protective backing, then adhere seal continuously from end to end along inside edge of end cap. Then tape a spacer over each factory hole. Center end cap on box. Press down and back against box to compress weather seal and drill holes in box wall at each factory hole location. Fasten with self-threading bolts. Then tilt inside edge of end cap up 1/4 inch and drill hole at factory hole on both sides of end cap. Secure with Allen button head bolt and follow instructions to install remaining end cap. To mount ridge strap, attach hook end to hole in center of front end cap. If installing 2, attach hooks to off-centered holes. Run strap over bows and attach ratchet end of strap to rear end cap. Thread strap through ratchet, then draw strap tight. Do not over-tighten. Cut excess strap and fuse end with heat source. Place front and rear base brackets in line with ceiling rib in end cap and 1/4 inch down from top of box. Drill 4 holes and secure with self-threading bolts. Space the remaining base brackets evenly between the front and rear. Secure with 2 self-threading bolts. Align lower hole in upright with lower hole in base bracket. Assemble with clevis and bow tie pins. Repeat for remaining tarp stops. Insert half of roll tube splice into end of first roll tube. Drill a pilot hole in center of each roll tube hole. Then secure roll tube splice with self-drilling Phillips screws. Insert second roll tube onto roll tube splice until tubes are tight against each other. Repeat procedure for securing roll tube splice. Insert swedged end of stationary tube into standard end. With tarp rivet holes aligned, drill hole through 2 layers of tube wall. Insert drive rivet into hole. Ensure rivet is fully seated and set with hammer. Refer to instructions to determine rivet hole placement on roll tube and drill a hole at each marked location. On a clean floor, lay tarp out flat with rope and exterior side facing up. Slide front end of roll tube onto rope at rear of tarp. Align holes in tarp and roll tube, then insert drive rivet. Ensure it is fully seated and set with hammer. On the other end, pull tarp by hand to align holes in tarp and roll tube. Then insert drive rivet. Ensure it is fully seated and set with hammer. Tap end plug into each end of stationary tube. Slide stationary tube into pocket. Align holes in tarp and stationary tube, then insert drive rivet. Ensure it is fully seated and set with hammer. At other end, pull tarp by hand to align holes in tarp and stationary tube, then insert drive rivet. Ensure it is fully seated and set with hammer. Roll tarp assembly by hand to open position. Center assembly from front to rear of box. Be careful not to let tarp roll off. Swing upright up and secure with clevis pin and bow tie pins. Repeat for all tarp stops. At front and rear tarp stops, tighten set screws with Allen wrench. Unfold return assembly and connect tubes together. With roll tube assembly hanging down, carefully insert return assembly into roll tube. Gently tap end plug onto roll tube. Use hole in end plug to insert self-drilling Phillips screw. Place guide 1/2 inch back from edge of latch plate. Mark and drill 2 holes. Secure guide with self-threading bolts. At rear of roll tube, align large groove in spline cartridge with rope channel in roll tube. Use hole in spline cartridge as guide and measure in 1 5/16 inch from edge of roll tube. Mark and drill hole through first layer of roll tube. Push spline cartridge into roll tube and use hole as guide to drill through other side of roll tube. Insert bolt and secure with nylock nut. Align hole in the non-spline end of U-joint with single hole end of upper handle. Angle spline end 90 degrees to handle. Tap U-joint onto upper handle with rubber mallet until holes line up. Secure with spring pin. With roll tube still hanging down, slide U-joint onto spline and secure with lock pin. Insert lower handle into upper handle, then select one of 4 holes according to desired length. Align holes and secure with bolt and nut. Use the standoff as template to mark and drill 2 holes into box, then secure with hex bolts, flat washers, lock washers, and nuts. Attach handle holder to standoff using a flange bolt with spacer. Ensure roll tube is secured under latch plate and lift handle into handle holder. Pressure required to place handle into holder depends on length of handle. Adjust pressure by turning U-joint on spline.